Guys, today we've got the Team Co-Rally Kagama on the bench. This is an awesome truck, and M2C thinks it's an awesome truck too. They've seen the light and they've started making upgrades for it. I've got the 5mm thick carbon fiber towers for this truck, and in this video we're gonna replace the stock towers, bash this thing, and see just how strong these carbon fiber towers are. Now this truck is very strong, but I was able to bend this front stock 6061 tower. Let me get these towers off and let's talk about the strength differences between aluminum and carbon fiber. Let's talk about strength. Strength is kind of an overarching term that refers to several different material properties, two of which are really important to this conversation. The first one's going to be yield strength, and the second one's going to be tensile strength. Yield strength is how much force you can apply to an object before it permanently deforms or experiences what's known as plastic deformation. Tensile strength is how much force can be applied to something before it catastrophically fails, before it fractures, basically before it comes apart. When we're talking about how strong something like aluminum or another metal is, typically we're going to be talking about the yield strength, because it doesn't really matter if your tower is still in one piece if it's in the shape of a taco and you can't use it anymore. Carbon fiber is different because it is so inflexible that its tensile strength is essentially the same as its yield strength. So when we're comparing the strength of aluminum and carbon fiber, we want to talk about the yield strength of the aluminum and the tensile strength of the carbon fiber. This is why it can be a little bit confusing when you're discussing the strength between aluminum and carbon fiber. The tensile strength of this carbon fiber is significantly higher than the yield strength of this aluminum. However, the failure mode is also going to be quite different. As you can see here, this aluminum tower is bent, but it's still usable. If you reach the ultimate tensile strength of carbon fiber, it's going to shatter, and then that part is junk. Carbon fiber will also break differently depending on how it's loaded. It also can split and fracture in different ways, so it can be a little bit less predictable than something like aluminum in a bashing situation. So ultimately, this carbon fiber tower is stronger than this aluminum tower, especially since they've added material in places that the original aluminum tower didn't have. But whether or not that means it's actually going to be able to survive bashing better is something we're going to have to find out. Now, speaking of bending aluminum towers, as you can see, I did reach the yield strength of this piece of aluminum, and you can bend this back, but you can't bend it back an unlimited amount of times. Let's go hammer this flat, and then I'll tell you why. Okay, so as you can see, we got that pretty straight. Now, it's not perfect, and you would not be able to do that an unlimited number of times, and here's why. Every single time most metals enter plastic deformation, as in they actually permanently bend, you're changing the structure of the metal internally. This is what's known as work hardening, and that work hardening gets worse every single time you bend it. Eventually, what will happen is it will get so hard that it won't be able to plastically deform anymore, and it'll do the exact same thing as the carbon fiber does. It'll reach that tensile strength and it will just break. This might not even happen when you're bending it back. This might happen the next time you're bashing it, because by bending it and then bending it back, you've work hardened that area and caused it to become harder, which means it's more likely to break in that area. That being said, you can still bend it back more times than you can carbon fiber. I've also got these upgraded shock standoffs, which should be nice because the stock shock standoffs do tend to break from time to time. There we go, guys. Now, I don't know if this is going to hold up to serious bashing, but it certainly looks awesome. Now, if you enjoy watching me torture test upgrades, make sure you get subscribed, because we do this kind of thing all the time, and we've got a lot more coming up. Let's get this back tower installed. Well, there we go, guys. M2C towers are in, and they look absolutely awesome. They fit perfectly, as you'd expect from an M2C product. Now, the real question is, will they hold up to serious bashing? Let's go put a battery in and see if we can exceed that tensile strength. Man, this car is a lot of fun. If you don't have one of these Kagamas, I definitely recommend getting one. That being said, we did break it. Now, before I show you what broke, I've been getting a lot of people asking me what electric screwdriver I use. I use one of these No Cry ones off Amazon. It's a silly name, but a great screwdriver, but I've actually specifically modified this to be better for RC work. There'll be a video coming out very soon where I show you how to modify one of these yourself, and I'm gonna be giving a brand new one that I've already modified away in that video, so make sure you get subscribed so you don't miss it. Let's see what broke. As you can see here, I broke one of the lower shock mounts. That's actually a pretty common breakage for these trucks. It's the first one I've broken on this truck. I also broke the mount for the rear wing, which is pretty common as well. But I'll tell you what didn't break. Neither the rear nor the front carbon fiber shock towers broke. They are both in absolutely perfect condition. As you can see, there's no cracks, no damage, no issues whatsoever. I've got a couple of packs of pretty heavy bashing through this now, and so far the towers are holding up great. These upper shock mounts are also holding up great. I think they're a fantastic upgrade. So should you buy these shock towers? I think they're a great option as far as an upgrade from the stock ones. I believe M2C is also going to be coming out with aluminum ones. If you want the ultimate in durability, those aluminum ones will probably be your best bet. But for general bashing and crashing, I think these carbon fiber ones are going to hold up well. They're lighter than stock, and they look awesome. So tell me what you think. Do you think carbon fiber belongs in these bashers? Are you gonna get a pair of these? Once you're done letting me know, make sure you get subscribed and then check out this video.